right, so today we're going to talk about linear equations. Now, a linear equation is when you have two variables in a problem. Y equals 3x plus 7 is a linear equation. 3.1 is going to talk about plotting them on a coordinate plane and how to plot points on a coordinate plane and whether certain numbers are actually solutions. Now, this is actually a line that when you graph on a coordinate plane, it will make a straight line. And it looks like, this would look like this line. Now, every point on this line is a solution to this equation. This point, no. Let's talk about that. This is 0, 0. Now, when you plot points on a coordinate plane, you have what is called an ordered pair. This is what you plot on a coordinate plane. A coordinate plane has two lines. This is called the x-axis, and this is called the y-axis. This goes with this, and this goes with this. And what you do is you always do the x-axis first, and then you go the y-axis. So if I said 3, 5, and said plot that on a coordinate plane, you want to know where 3 and 5 are at on the x and the y. So I go to the 3 on the x, and then I go up to the 5. Let's make this more easier to get to. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have your 3, 5. If it would have been negative, you go on the negative side of x. If it would have been negative on the y, you go down. So I go to the x first, and then I go to the y, up 5. Now, when I talk about a solution, let's take a look at this linear equation. Is 3, 5 a solution? What that means is, if I graphed this line, would this go through it? Now, you don't know how to graph a line yet. So let's actually take our numbers and plug them in. Because our 3, remember, is our x, and our 5 is actually our y. So wherever x is, I'm going to put a 3. And wherever y is, I'm going to put a 5. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So yes, if I graphed this line, this would fall on that line. Now, what if I gave you an equation and said x is 2, find y? So this is actually very easy to do because the equation tells you y is whatever 5 times x minus 2 is. I know x, so I'm going to plug in x. What's 5 times 2? What's 10 minus 2? So y equals 8. So this way, I actually found a point that will cross this line. And that point is 2, 8. Because let's be honest, if this was my line graphed, can you guess what ordered pairs are going to be on that line? That would be really hard to do. But if you give yourself one of the values, you can always find the other by plugging it in. And it is that easy. Most times we have you complete what is called a T-chart. Here I have a T-chart. Now, this may look weird, but all it's asking you to do is take 0 for x and solve this for y. Then it wants you to take 0 for y and solve for x. And then it wanted you to take 3 for y and solve for x. So let's do x first. So this is 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 24. What's 3 times 0? So that essentially is 0. 0 plus 4y is just 4y. Divide both sides by 4. Y equals 6. Now let's take a look at making y equal to 3. So now I have 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 24. 3x equals 24. And x equals 8. Took me a minute to do that brain in my brain there. So now I have 2 points, 0, 6 and 8, 0. Now let's plug in y equals 3. So I'm going to do 3x plus 4 times 3 equals 24. So I solve this equation. 3x plus 12 is 24. Subtract, 3x equals 12 and x equals 4. Now, what does this mean? This means that this line will go through the point 0, 6, 8, 0, and 4, 3. And using those 3 numbers, you can actually graph your line.